Hello everybody, I'm TJX Squid, or as I'm known in Eve Online, I am Poe Salomon, and today we're going to be starting a new series called Weekly Wormhole Roundup. So basically what it's going to be usually if I look on YouTube, if I'm looking for some wormhole related content, which is generally what I'm into as I live in a wormhole. It's hard for me to find good areas to find wormhole related videos. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting off here with basically it's going to be a weekly series where I'm just going to talk about sort of what I did in the wormhole during the week. These probably aren't going to be too long. They'll be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how busy I was during the week. I could be all sorts of activities. I might have clips thrown in. Sorry about hitting my mic. There might be some clips thrown in and stuff here and there. Going forward, I'll probably try to record most of my content, and then I'll throw in little clips here and there as I'm speaking, and we'll see what I got up to in the wormhole for the week. So starting off here, we're starting with an exciting week, as you can tell from just down over here. I got 17 kills, which is it's going to be quite a high average compared to what we're going to be seeing going forward. It might be anywhere from 1 to 5, but 17 is quite high. So I'll talk a bit about that and why that number was so high, and we'll speak about that. So I'm just going to jump over here now to a different tab. It's going to be my recording tab. So I'll just take a quick second to black in and black out. So here we are. So I'm sitting here in our station, in our Fortizar, in a Drekovac. So we live in a Fortizar in a C4 wormhole, a C4 with a C5 and C3 static. So basically what that means is that there's always content, whether it be C5 content or C3 content, which is quite nice for making ISK and getting connections when it's coming to the C3 and the lower related systems. So the reason that I have so many kills this week is because what we did was we did an eviction, and we evicted Interstellar Central Technologies, and these were a group that we sort of had a bit of a rivalry with for a while, and the eviction was warranted and it was fair. I've only been part of this crew for about 3 months, and there was a bit of tension between the two crews before I joined, which I'm not going to get into here, but it was a warranted eviction, let's just say that for the least. They put up a nice fight. We got some good kills. We got into a bit of a battle with them, which is why we have the 17 kills. They had a fleet from Beyond the Breach come in, 30 plus pilots to fight us, but thankfully they actually logged off because we were only fleeting a field of about 20 pilots. So they had 30 pilots and 15 of their own. At one point they got hull control for a while and moved some assets out of the hull, but eventually once it went out of Korean time zone for Beyond the Breach, we managed to hold firm, keep hull control, and managed to complete the eviction, thankfully. So basically it was a long week, mostly in that wormhole, so not much has actually happened within our own wormhole here. So what I've done this week, let me just condense this down. What I've done this week is mostly just going forward, you're going to see a lot of it's just reactions and stuff. So I've started doing a little bit of T3 production. So I made 300 Fullero ferrocene power conduits. I'm not sure how these are going to sell. They're required for T3 stuff, but they generally sell quite slow, so I imagine I'll be keeping these 300 power conduits, spacing them out over the market over a period of a month or two, just so I don't crash the market. And then we have some other gases produced here, which is not quite a lot, but that's because obviously I wasn't in hull for the week. So that'll be a continuing theme will be the reactions being carried out in the hull, because we do quite a bit of gas huffing and reactions within our C4. So that's what we'll mainly be doing going forward. So I'll pull up an image here of the kill board here of the fight. So as you can see here, we blew up about 12 billion ISKs worth of stuff on these guys, roughly, not including the loot that dropped, which amounted to another about 10 billion. So we've cost them quite a bit of money, which is satisfying as always. But we don't really do this eviction type stuff that often. I think it's the second one I've ever done in the 3 months in here, so not super common, but also not something that we don't partake in. mostly my role here. I'll just talk a little bit about myself as it is the first episode. So I've been playing Eve for about 4 years now at this point, on and off, which is why I have 35 million skill points, which is not a ton of skill points, but it's also not a low amount of skill points, so it's a decent amount. I joined Wormhole Space about 2 weeks into my Eve career, and I've basically been in wormholes for my whole career, apart from a quick stint in high sec and in null sec, but it's mostly been inside in wormholes, so I have a bit of knowledge and experience within the wormholes, which is why I decided I'd do this little series, started up, show some clips of what goes on in wormhole life, so you can maybe decide if wormholes are actually for you. So the alliance that I'm a part of is called Critical Effect, and more specifically I'm part of Theoretical Mass, so it's more of a US based alliance or corp, with some EU alliances thrown in. Obviously I'm strengthening the EU time zone myself, so there does be a good bit of content going on depending on your time zone. As you can see, I am mostly a scanner at the moment with generally quite high scanning skills, but working on getting up into some doctrines at the moment as well, and training towards the Legion. So that's going to take quite a bit of time, probably a couple more weeks before I'll be able to fly the Legion, but looking forward to getting into that. As you can see, my current total net worth is 13.4 billion. That's somewhat accurate. I've got replacement ships in GIA on an alt account, probably another 5 billion worth of replacement ships over in GIA. That's probably closer to 3. But however, that doesn't matter a whole lot. Hopefully going forward I can sort of work on some sort of format for this one was sort of just off the cuff, so I imagine going forward I'll have sort of planned it out a bit better than I have today, but that will be the plan anyway. I'm just sort of shuffling about here at the moment. As you can see, at the moment I'm sort of sitting on a low amount of ISK, 661 million ISK, which has gone down quite rapidly as I've bought a ton of ships and not actually done anything with them at the moment to earn the ISK back from using them. But I look forward to doing a bit more with the series, showing off some clips of me doing stuff, showing some PvP in the wormhole, PvE, what life is like, whether you're hiding from a big group or showing your prowess to a smaller group. It sort of changes depending on your connections on the day, as some of you may know. Hopefully what I can do is I can set up a couple guides as well going forward of what you can expect if you plan to move into a wormhole, or what you should plan to do to defend a wormhole if you're planning to actually get into it properly. What you should be thinking of and keeping in the back of your mind constantly is that you're always at a threat. You always have to conduct yourself well in wormholes, or else you will be evicted eventually. So it's all about keeping yourself low on the radar, but also being able to get content higher on the radar. So you sort of have to, it's sort of a balancing act to keep yourself safe, more so than anything else. Now that'll probably do it for this week's episode. I'll try planning it out a bit better next week. We might get up to about 15 minutes. It's probably 8 minutes is probably enough listening to me ramble on here. I might have been talking a bit fast in some sections, so maybe I'll try to work on that going forward. But I'd like to just thank everybody who tuned in for this first episode, and hopefully going forward I can improve the platform and improve the method of me conducting myself. But I hope you enjoyed this first episode, and I hope to see you again next Saturday for the next weekly Wormhole Roundup. Thank you very much, guys. I've been Poe.